Hello and welcome to Hatha Yoga. Thank you for joining. Today or tonight we'll be doing a basic class. We'll start with a supine or initial relaxation, supine warm up, seated warm up, standing warm up, then some moves to strengthen our back and open the front of the body, and then some finishing off with some hip openers and glute stretches. So if you've got a couple of blocks, it doesn't matter if you haven't got them, that's fine, and maybe a belt or a tie or something. So this is just to assist with the stretches. It's not essential that we have those bits of equipment, just sometimes to help us. So we're going to start by lying flat out on our mats, and this helps us to transition from a busy day into being aware of our bodies. So we're just either having the legs out straight with the small toes falling apart, or the legs bent, maybe knees together and feet apart, or just knees apart and feet apart. We can rest our hands on our tummy or rest the hands out at the side with the palms facing up, which is nice to open up the chest, maybe feel our shoulders drawing together. Also make sure that your chin isn't thrown back, the chin is coming towards the chest. If the chin is going back, you could rest your head on a block. So first of all, we want to start by bringing awareness into the body and trying to keep our mind focused on the yoga class, the moves that we're doing. So we're trying to draw our attention back to ourselves and maybe not what we've done today or what we should have said today, just completely focusing on ourselves just for the next 60 minutes if you can. So yoga sometimes can mean lots of different variations, but it can mean the union of the mind and the body together, the yoke of the mind and body together, so the mind-body connection. So in this initial relaxation, it's a chance to notice if our mind is wandering, or if we can keep that focus and concentration just on sensations anywhere in the body. Now moving on to breath awareness. So we'll try some different breathing techniques in this class. So the first one we'll do, which is good to take the mind from wandering, is to work on what we call 4-7-8 breathing. So that's just a suggestion, that ratio. So we would breathe in for a count of 4, hold the breath for a count of 7, and breathe out for a count of 8. So if you try that for about another minute or two, if that ratio is too much, you could go for 3, 5 and 6. The idea is that your inhale, if it's 3, your exhale is double the count. So just try 4, 7, 8, notice how it feels, maybe ease off a bit onto 3, 5 and 6. See what works for you. Make this your last 4, 7, 8 round. And then moving to your natural breath in and out through the nose. And we'll try to keep our focus on our breath in the class. Usually if we've stopped breathing or we're finding it hard to breathe, it means we've gone too far into a pose. So we want to just stay aware and notice our breathing as much as possible. So now we'll get ready for our supine warm up. So stretching out both legs, bringing the feet together, taking a deep breath in, stretch the arms above the head, breathing out slowly, bring the arms down, and draw the right knee in towards the chest, hugging the right knee in, pushing the left heel away and toes towards the face, and we're lifting the left sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. We're drawing big circles with the big right toe clockwise, trying to push our left heel away, toes towards the face. And change direction with your right big toe, so anti-clockwise. And point and flex. The right toes up and down. As you breathe out slowly, lower the left leg to the floor and stretch out the right leg. Taking a deep breath in, stretch the arms above the head, point the fingers away, point the toes away. And breathe out, draw the left knee in towards the chest, hugging that left knee in, and then push the right heel away, toes towards the face, slowly lifting the right sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, just so your knee and ankle are in line with your right hip. And then we're doing big circles again with the big left toe. First of all, anti-clockwise. And then clockwise. And point and flex. And lower down the right leg, nice and slowly as you breathe out. And stretch out the left leg, both feet together, taking a breath in, stretch the arms above the head, point the fingers, point the toes, and breath out slowly, bringing the arms down, bringing both knees in towards the chest, hugging the knees in, knees side to side. We're going to either take our knees down to the right hand side or roll up to seated, whichever method you prefer. If you're rolling up to seated, draw the tummy in and lift up. Okay, so we're going to sit cross-legged, and if you need to, sit on a block. If you sit cross-legged and your knees are kind of up there, we want the knees kind of about hip height. So it's quite nice to sit on a block or a cushion to help tilt the pelvis a little bit forward. As you cross your legs, also notice which shin is in front. And also, we don't want to cross the ankles. If possible, we want to cross the shins. So try and walk your feet away. And then draw the chest forward and shoulders coming down towards our lower back. And fingertips are at the side. So we're doing 3 stretches up. So breathing in to lift up. Breathe out to lower, 2 more. Breathe in to lift, out to lower, in to lift, and out to lower. So taking our right hand out to the side, then stretching our left fingertips over to the right. So we're feeling the stretch up the left hand side of the body, 3 breaths. Lifting up slowly and bringing the left hand down to the left, stretching the right fingertips over to the left. Keep the spine as long as you can, and 3 breaths. Lifting back slowly, and here we're lifting up, breathing in. As we breathe out, we're turning the chest to the right, bringing the left hand outside the right thigh and the right hand behind, quite close to the lower back. And we're drawing the chest towards the right hand side, holding for 3 breaths. Slowly returning to the centre, fingertips at the side, breath in again, drawing the spine really nice and long, breathing out, turning to the left, and then right hand outside the left thigh, left hand behind, keep the hand close to the lower back, gently twisting towards the left, 3 deep breaths. And slowly back to the centre, fingertips out to the side, deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're coming forward now, so walking hands as far forward as we can, looking down towards the floor and holding for 3 breaths again. Walk the hands back up. Now taking the hands behind with the fingertips facing forward, we're just puffing the chest up towards the ceiling, looking up, 3 breaths. And coming forward slowly, and then we're uncrossing the ankles and going the unnatural way. So this time it'll feel a bit strange on the hips. So we're still sitting up tall, again pushing our feet away from each other, so we're crossing more at the shins. Again, sitting up nice and tall, chest forward, shoulders back, fingertips at the side. So 3 breaths, lifting up on the in-breath, bringing the fingertips down on the out-breath. 2 more. And then doing that side bend. So here, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you take the hand out, right hand out to the side, we can bring the right elbow down, and then stretching the left fingertips over to the right again. Feel the stretch up the left hand side of the body, 3 breaths. And pressing in to lift up, changing sides, so either hand down or left elbow down. Stretch the right fingertips over to the left, 3 breaths. And lifting back up. And then we're coming into the twist, so breathing in, stretching up, so we're lengthening the spine before we go into the twist. Breathing out, twisting again, first of all to the right. Chest to the right, you can look to the right or you can look over your right shoulder. And slowly return back to the centre, fingertips out to the side. Breathe in again, lengthen the spine. And breathe out, slowly twisting to the left. Return back to face forward. Breathe in again, stretch up. This time as we breathe out, we're bringing the hands forward, walking the hands forward. If you like, you can rest your head on your hands or a block or cushion. And here we're holding for 5 breaths. And lifting back up slowly, and then taking the hands behind, fingertips facing forward. We can either puffing the chest up or we can lift the hips off and bring the hips up towards the ceiling. Hold for 3 breaths. And release down slowly. So now we've got some shoulder stretches, so we can either sit on our heels, which some people don't find very comfortable at all, or we can kneel up, or we can take 2 or 3 blocks. I'll just show you. So we're bringing the blocks between the thighs and our knees are together. Sorry, the blocks are between the ankles. And then we're sitting back. So you could need 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks if you want to practice this. We want to keep the knees together and the tops of the toes, sorry, the pads of the toes are going up towards the ceiling. The soles of the feet are up towards the ceiling. So this is called hero. If you've got a belt or a blanket now or a jumper, we're just stretching the arms above the head and taking the hands as far apart as they need to go, where we can bring the hands straight and the arms straight behind us, right, coming back, and then lifting up and forward. Breathe in and breathe out, take the arms behind. So you should feel a nice opening in the chest and the armpits. You can bring the arms right down and then lift back over. Breathe in and breathe out, hands behind again. So imagine you're ripping the belt apart, and one more. Breathe in, forward, and breathe out, behind. Breathing in to come forward again. So this time we're bringing the hands behind. The left hand is coming to the bottom and right hand stretches up towards the ceiling. So again, we're trying to imagine we're ripping the belt apart. Arms as straight as possible, chest forward, shoulders back, 3 breaths. And then we change sides, so the right hand comes down and the left hand up. Again, really try to draw the chest forward. Always try to keep your chin parallel to the floor. Again, stretching the left hand up, the right hand down, 3 breaths. Slowly releasing the belt and then releasing the blocks as well. Coming forward into our tabletop. So from here, just a little bit more opening for the shoulders. So all we're doing is threading our right hand all the way over to the left with the palm facing up, bringing our right elbow down and our right ear down. So we're holding here for 5 breaths. If we like, we can bring our left hand onto our lower back. And bring the left hand back forward, press it into the left hand, lift up slowly. And then we change to the other side. So just from tabletop, just check your knees are underneath your hips. And then we're threading that left hand through with the palm facing up, bringing our left shoulder down and our left ear down. So we can stretch the right fingertips forward, or we can bring the right fingertips to the lower back. And hold again for 5 breaths. And bring the hand, right hand just so it's underneath the shoulder, press into the right hand and lift back up slowly. Okay, so we're going to lift up into a gentle downward dog. So first of all, just spreading the fingers and pressing all the fingers into the mat, and then turning the toes under. So we'll go up in 3 stages. So turning the toes under, first of all lifting the knees off the mat. So this is 3/4 dog. Then drawing the chest through to the thighs, half dog. Then trying to keep the contact as much as you can with the chest near the thighs. Slowly lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And then here, pedaling the heels up and down. So we can call this walk the dog. Nice stretch for the calves. And then bringing both heels down, drawing the chest through to the thighs, drawing the kneecaps up, 3 breaths in full down dog. Bringing the knees back to the mat, so bringing the big toes together and the knees apart, about the width of the mat. Drawing the heels back, the bottom back to the heels. So we're in extended child pose, trying to walk the hands further away, the fingers extending further away, and bringing the head either to the block or to the mat. And holding child pose, extended child pose for 5 breaths. And press into the hands to lift back up slowly to tabletop. So from here, stepping our right foot in between the hands into our first lunge. So again, here if you want to help, you could have blocks either side of your right foot, and that just helps us to bring our chest forward and keep our spine nice and long. If we haven't got a block, we might be having a rounded back. So we want to keep our spine as long as possible and think about good posture. So 5 breaths in this right foot lunge. Bringing the left hand just underneath the left shoulder, stretching the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, drawing the chest to the right, 5 breaths. Now bringing the right hand inside the right foot, just taking the right foot out to the side slightly, and a little test to see how far we can lower our right shoulder below our right knee. So we're kind of going into a little press up, just seeing how far we can lower that right shoulder. So it might still stay in line with your right knee, the right shoulder might come in line with your shin, or you might be able to bring your elbows to the floor. So this is called lunge or lizard or gecko. So holding, just bending, holding about 3 more breaths. And press into the hands, lift back and stepping the right foot back, right knee back, resting again in extended child pose for 5 breaths. Press into the hands to lift back up to tabletop, and then from here we're coming left foot forward lunge. So left foot in between the hands, and again we can have our blocks to give us that lift forward with the chest, and hold in 5 breaths. So just check that your left knee is in line with your left ankle. And keeping the right hand underneath the right shoulder, extending the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. So you can either look to the left or look up at the left fingertips for 5 breaths. And bringing the hand inside the left foot, doing that test again to see how much we can lower that left shoulder. So again, you might not be able to lower it at all. It might just be in line with your left knee, or it might be in line with the left shin, or you might be able to come down onto your elbows, and hold in about another 3 breaths in lizard or gecko. And going back to the hands, stepping the left knee back and resting again in either extended child pose or normal child pose, with the backs of the hands resting by the feet, forehead resting on the block or the mat. 5 breaths. and bringing the hands forward, back to tabletop, and coming into down dog again. So fingers are spread, just wrists underneath the shoulders, turning the toes under, go into those 3 stages. So toes under, feel the stretch in the toes, the sole of the foot, lifting the knees off, drawing the chest through to the thighs, keeping the chest as close as you can towards the thighs, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. So here for a deeper stretch in the calf, keep the chest close to the thighs, press the left heel into the floor and lift the right leg as straight as possible up towards the ceiling, holding for 3 breaths. Bringing the right foot to the floor, pressing the right heel into the floor, lifting the left leg as straight as possible, flexing the heel away, toes towards the face. 3 breaths again. Keep that chest as close as you can towards the thighs. And lowering the left leg, bending the knees back to the mat. Okay, so here, bringing the right knee so it's in the centre of the mat, and bringing your left knee so it's behind the right knee. Then we take our bottom back. So the bottom will gravitate towards the right hand side. We're seeing if we can bring our bottom to our left heel, and then just resting the chin on the top knee and holding for about 5 breaths. So a nice massage for our calves, stretch for our glutes. And press into the hands to lift back up, and uncrossing the left knee back into tabletop. So the left knee comes into the middle of your mat, taking the right knee behind and push ourselves back. So now we'll gravitate over to the left, bringing our bottom to our right heel, which is on the left hand side, and again resting the chin on the top knee or resting the forehead on the top knee, whichever feels comfortable, holding for 5 breaths. And lifting, pressing into the hands to lift up slowly again, uncrossing the knees back to tabletop. So again, coming up to a down dog, turning the toes under, making sure our fingers are spread, hands are slightly wider than shoulder width or just underneath the shoulders, knees off the mat, chest through to the thighs, feel the opening in the chest and the shoulders, then lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Drawing the chest through to the thighs, and deep breath in, deep breath out, and then slowly, with the knees a little bit soft, walking the hands back towards the feet. Come into a forward fold, but the feet the width of the mat. So take the feet apart, so we can either take the hands behind the calves or take hold of opposite elbow. So holding for 5 breaths in this first forward fold. So we want to try and draw our kneecaps up, and we want the legs straight, but if you have any back issues, just keep a micro soft bend in the knees. Let the crown of the head come down towards the floor.
And then release the hands, just maybe walk the feet together a little bit, bending the knees softly, drawing the fingertips up the body, keep the chin on the chest and bring the head up last.
Come to standing. Okay, so we'll do one round of sun salutations to make sure we're warmed up. So come into the front of your mat with the feet pressing into the floor, palms facing forward in mountain pose. So just drawing the kneecaps up, drawing the tummy in, deep breath in, and breath out, palms together. Breath in, take the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and breath out, forward fold.
Keep those knees slightly soft if you have any back issues.
Breathe in, lifting the chest forward.
Breathe out, full forward fold. Breathe in, right foot back and right knee down into the lunge.
Both hands either side of the left foot, chest forward. And then stepping the left foot back into tabletop. Or here you could lift into plank. So breathing in again. Breathing out, knees, chest and forehead down to the floor. Then press it into the hands, breathe in, lift cobra. Breathe out into tabletop and into down dog.
And 3 breaths in down dog. So from down dog, you can either step the right foot forward in between the hands and the left knee down, or you can bring the knees to the mat and then
Step the right foot in between the hands into the right foot forward lunge. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the left toes under, step the left foot to the front of the mat, forward fold, breathe out. Breathe in, press into the feet, lift up, stretch the fingertips up towards the ceiling, gaze at the thumbs, and breathe out, back to mountain. So left side, palms facing forward, chest forward, feet pressing into the floor, breathe in. Breathe out, palms together. Breathe in, stretch the fingertips up towards the ceiling, extended mountain. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, half forward fold, so nice flat back. Breathe out, full forward fold. Breathe in, left foot back and left knee down into the lunge. And then we breathe out either into tabletop or plank. Breathe in. Breathe out, slowly lower the body to the floor, so it's knees, chest and forehead. Keeping the elbows glued by the waist, press into the hands, breathe in, lift cobra. Breathe out, push into the hands, tabletop and down dog. 3 breaths again in down dog. Chest through to the thighs, spreading the fingers, drawing the kneecaps up. So from down dog, you can either come to tabletop with the knees on the floor, or you can step the left foot in between the hands and the right knee to the floor. Breathing in, lifting the chest in the lunge. Breathing out, turning the right toes under, right foot to the front of the mat, forward fold. Breathe in, press into the feet, stretch up tall. Bring the fingertips up towards the ceiling, gaze at the thumbs. And breathe out, back to mountain. Okay, so we're going to step the feet aside to do a couple of standing postures. So first of all, we're going to do the triangle. So we want the left heels out slightly, toes in slightly, and
the right toes all the way out to the side. We want to draw both kneecaps up and draw the tummy in, and imagine pressing the feet into the floor, then extending the fingertips away on a breath in. Breath out, extend as far as you can towards the right hand side. Really try to stretch out, and then bring the right hand inside the right shin or the right ankle. Try to keep your top shoulder back and stretch the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, and hold for 5 breaths. Press into the feet, breathe in, lift up slowly, extend the fingertips away. Breathe out, release the hands down, and then we change sides. So right heel out slightly, right toes in slightly, left toes out to the side. So chest forward, shoulders back, draw the kneecaps up, press into the feet, breathe in, extend the fingertips away, breathe out, extend as far as you can to the left. Bring the left hand inside the left shin and stretch the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And hold for 5 breaths. Drawing the kneecaps up, keeping that top shoulder back. Press into the feet. Breathe in, slowly lift back up, extend the fingertips away, breathe out, release the arms down, and step the feet together. Okay, so next we'll go into a balance, so we'll do a tree, quite a basic yoga move. So pressing your right foot into the floor, standing up as tall as we can, then the left ankle comes either into the right ankle or the right shin or the right upper thigh, aiming to keep that left knee out to the side as much as possible and press into your right foot, so we're not sinking into that right hip. So we're lifting up out of the right hip. You can have the hands on the hip, you can have the hands together at the chest, hands out to the side, or fingertips, palms together, fingertips stretching up towards the ceiling. 5 breaths. Okay, and slowly release the arms and release the foot. Shaking out the legs, and then we'll change to the other side. So left foot presses it into the floor, so we're still lifting up nice and tall, and then right heel into left ankle or left shin or left upper thigh. The key is not to have the foot anywhere near the knee joint, and keep that knee back, pressing into the foot to lift up out of your left hip. So again, hands to the hips or to the chest with the palms together, arms out, or stretching the palms together above the head. 5 breaths. And release the hands and the foot back to the floor. Shake out again. And we'll come back to seated on the mat. Okay, so we're going to do a forward fold. with or without a belt, also with or without a block. So we want to first of all make sure we can push our heels away, toes towards the face, and bring the hands first of all by the hips. So this is called staff pose. So it's important that we're trying to get an L shape with our body, and then to encourage a better forward fold, I find it better to sit on my block, and then we would use the belt to draw us forward with the chest forward and the shoulders back and a flat spine. So push your heels away, toes towards the face, breathe in, and breathe out. We come forward, imagine we're folding from the hip. And take 5 breaths. So you can reach towards your toes if you want to. Try not to let the back round too much, so it's quite handy to look in a mirror. And breathing in, slowly lift back up to staff pose, and then to balance out the body, because we've been flexing the spine, we go into the inclined plane. So this can be done with straight legs or bent legs. So if you've got straight legs, you want to point the toes and bring the hands behind, fingertips facing forward, lifting the hips up, holding for 5 breaths, or feet flat on the floor, knees bent. And slowly lowering, and then coming forward onto our mats, lying forward, preparing for back bends. So here we're resting first of all in crocodile. So we're making a pillow with our hands, just resting a cheek on the pillow, closing the eyes, big toes are together and heels are out. So here, take 5 breaths and imagine you're breathing into your lower back. And we're lifting it up first. Now for the first back bend, which is probably the most gentle, Sphinx. So Sphinx, we're pressing the elbows into the floor, just looking forward. So a nice stretch for the abdominals, and here we're strengthening our back, great for posture. If it's too much for your back, you can bring the elbows a little bit forward. So I'll give another option for a deeper back bend and a deeper stretch for the front of the body. So stay in Sphinx if that's enough. If you want to try half bow, just bring the left elbow into the floor with the forearm in line with the front of your mat. Squeeze both glutes, draw the tummy in, and then lifting the right foot up. We're reaching behind for the right ankle, drawing the right foot towards the glutes. Try not to lean over to your left. Try to really push both hips into the mat, or both thighs into the mat, and hold for 5 breaths. Slowly lowering the right leg, so the right forearm is in line with the mat. Squeezing the glutes again, lifting up the left leg, pressing into your right elbow, lifting the left foot up, reaching behind for the left foot, drawing it to the bottom, and 5 breaths in half bow. Slowly lowering the left foot and coming back into crocodile, so making a pillow with your hand. Rest the other cheek on the pillow and big toes together, heels out. 5 deep as you can breaths into the lower back. And lifting up slowly. So after the back bends, we do need to come out really slowly. So I find the easiest way is to press my elbows into the floor and lift up to tabletop. And then from here, some cats and cows, or even just angry cats. So just arching the spine up towards the ceiling, breathing out, drawing the tummy in, maybe coming to a flat back, or if you like, into the cow, which is back extension again. And coming into a seated twist. So we want to, again, maybe sit on a block. Give us a tilt forward with our pelvis. It's up to you though, see how it feels. So we want the spine as long as possible before we go into the twist. So pushing both heels away, drawing the kneecaps up so the legs are strong. Then drawing our right foot so it's over the left knee. See if you can also draw your right foot closer up towards the left hip. And then hugging the right knee in towards the left shoulder. So this is just for me a nice stretch in my outer left hip, my left glute. So that might be enough just to keep hugging that right knee as much as you can towards your left chest or left shoulder. If you want to add the twist, you would stretch up the right hand, breathe in, and breathe out. Take the right hand behind, drawing the chest to the right, either looking towards the right or looking over the right shoulder. You want to keep that left leg strong, heel away, toes towards the face, drawing the left kneecap up. About 3 more breaths. Slowly untwist back to the centre and releasing the right heel away, pushing the right heel away, sitting up tall again, drawing both kneecaps up, pushing both heels away, then drawing the left foot over the right knee. See if we can draw that left foot close up towards the right hip, the right outer hip, and then hugging the left knee in towards the chest or the right shoulder. And again, it might just be enough to get a nice stretch in your left glute, left hip. You want to keep the right leg strong, so heel away, drawing the right kneecap up. And then if we want to add a stretch, we stretch up the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, breathe in, stretch up tall, and breathe out, bring the left hand behind, drawing the chest to the left, either looking to the left or looking over your left shoulder. Coming forward again and stretching out the left leg, and now coming to the reclining twist before we go into final relaxation. So here, if you want to, you can pop something warm on. We want to make sure we're warm for the final pose. So we've got a couple of options. We can do the knees together and feet together, arms out like a T shape. Releasing the knees down to the right hand side and holding for 5 breaths. Look over your left fingertips if you like, or can do extending the right leg, left foot over the right knee again, and drawing the left knee with the right hand down towards the right hand side and holding for 5 breaths. Slowly back to the centre, so both knees together, feet together, taking the knees down to the left hand side, or extending the left leg, right foot over the left knee, and drawing the right knee down to the left with the left hand. 5 breaths again. Returning to the centre. So for final relaxation, going to concentrate on a different breathing technique called square breathing or box breathing. So again, you could have the knees bent up if that's better for your lower back, or you can have the legs out straight, feet apart and small toes falling out to the side. And square breathing is, now it's equal, so it's either 4 in, 4 hold the breath, 4 exhale, and 4 hold the breath again. Or it could be 5 or 6. Maybe try with 4. It's quite hard to hold the breath after you've exhaled. So give it a go, maybe for 2 minutes. So breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And carry on at that pace or deeper if you can.
one more round of square breathing. And return to your natural breath. Bring some gentle movement back into the body, and wriggle the fingers, wriggle the toes, rotate the ankles, rotate the wrist. And taking a deep breath in, bring the feet together, stretch the arms all the way above the head, point the fingers, point the toes, and breathe out slowly, bringing the arms down and the knees in towards the chest, hugging the knees in. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe if you like, bring your head to your knees. And in your own time, in your own method, bring yourself up slowly to seated. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good rest of the evening and see you soon. Bye for now.